Hi, I'm Bina Kavalam, leadership consultant and executive coach. And in today's video, I want to talk about an important part of the recruitment process, especially if you get to the final round of interviews and you don't get the offer. And that's about keeping that resilience and the impact to your mindset. In this is the case study number two. I was working with a client who had been applying for several interviews. In the beginning, things were going great. He was getting to the final round, and he was so close on, especially in his first few interviews. He was really close to getting the offer. And what would happen is that, well, he was really close to getting that offer, and he wasn't getting any feedback from the hiring company. So he thought to himself, well, hey, look, I'm getting to the final round. It was probably something really close because I'm at the final round. I'm going to do the same thing in the next one. And he did. And he got the same result, which was no offer. And he kept repeating the process, expecting a different result. Without feedback to offer some that reflection or that mirror, you don't know what you can improve on. And so that's the one issue, right? You keep doing the same things over and over, expecting something different to happen. The second thing is that, well, after all of these times of getting to the final round, putting your heart into it, you're gonna be angry or frustrated or mm, just don't have enough energy to keep going. You're not going to have that excitement you once did where you were early on in the process. It's human nature. It's going to happen. And no matter how you try to mask those feelings, it's going to come across subtly in your body language, in your vocal tone. And that's exactly what happened with my case study. I was working with the client. He was doing well in those early round interviews, but because he didn't get that offer, by the time he was hitting like interview number 10, opportunity number 10, 15, right? He was getting this air of frustration. And so when we met for our one-on-one, I could hear it in his voice, the cutting nature, the anger. It was like underneath what he was talking. It was subtle, but it was there. And that's what the interviewers heard. Now, he promised me that that's not how, oh, it's just a one-off. This is not how it is when I called him out on it. But I have to believe it was. Because if you haven't resolved the feelings that are there and you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling angry, it's going to come through in the interview. And finally, right, especially in those last 10 minutes of the interview, think about it. Everybody talks about that first impression of the interview. I think you need to focus on the last 10 minutes of the interview because that's where you leave that lasting impression. But it's also the most precarious time. Because during the interview, you come in hot, you've got all this energy and you thrive. You're like, yes, I feel good. But what's going to happen is as you answer a question and you're going to get maybe the interviewer is not paying attention or not looking up, and you're going to interpret it in a certain way. And your inner mean girl in your head is going to nitpick on in your head about, oh man, I should have said that or I should have done this. And those reserves are going to start, that resilience is going to start to dwindle. So by the end of the interview, those last 10 minutes, when you should be at your best, you should be energized and excited, you're worn out mentally, you're tired, and you're not giving your best. So that, if any of this has resonated with you, like it did with my client, when we were able to identify call out some of these things that he may need to improve, switch things out, we were able to jumpstart his recruitment process. And it really started with the mind, really getting his confidence back, getting him to take a break and step away from the process and think about recruitment in a different way. Because what was happening is he kept doing the same thing over and over and over and over, expecting it to be a different outcome. And when it wasn't, he was getting all frustrated. And why not? Why wouldn't he? We have to think differently. And if any of this resonated with you, this is what we talk about in the Executive Close Coaching Program. If you are, if any of this resonated with me, DM me. If any of this resonated with you, DM me the word close. And let's talk about how I can help you get an offer in 2026.